Hey, this is Mrs. Reichelt, and we're continuing our discussion on the reproductive system. Last videos, we kind of went through the male reproductive system, and now we're going to move on to the female reproductive system. So similar to the male reproductive system, the females have basically an organ that's going to produce the gametes. So in the males, that organ was the testes. Whoops, I'm spelling things wrong. And in the female, that organ is the ovaries. Okay, the males had a duct system, and so did the female. So the male duct system included things like the epididymis, the vas deferens, and then the urethra, whereas the duct system for the female includes the uterine tubes or the fallopian tubes, the uterus, the vagina, and as well as some external genitalia. So let's go ahead and talk about the ovaries first. So the ovaries are composed of ovarian follicles. So basically this is a diagram of an ovary here. And I would say that the most important thing to know about an ovary is that you have primary follicles that sort of look like this. And basically these are kind of the sites of where you have immature egg, or the oocytes. And basically what happens is they're going to grow and develop and mature until ultimately you'll see an ovulation occur. So ovulation is when this actual egg is ruptured from that ovary and it's released into the uterine tube. So that's kind of the process of what the purpose of that diagram is to show you. So the duct system is that after you have an egg that's released, so this is the ovary, this is where your eggs are going to be stored. So after an egg is released, it goes into the fallopian tubes or the uterine tubes, and it's going to travel down into the uterus. So this is the body of the uterus. That's the uterus right there. And basically what's going to happen here is if fertilization occurs, then that egg is going to implant, or that the zygote actually will implant right there. If not, then that will be dispelled through the vagina, which is that last part of the duct system. So the fallopian tubes are going to receive the ovulated oocyte. They provide as a site for fertilization. So fertilization is going to occur in the uterine tube. It attaches to the uterus, and then there's little to no contact between the ovaries and the uterine tube, so just be aware of that. And it's also supported and enclosed by a broad ligament. So that's kind of what you need to know about the fallopian tubes. The uterus here is located between the urinary bladder and the rectum. It is a hollow organ, and the functions of the uterus are a couple of them. They're going to receive the fertilized egg, they retain the fertilized egg, and then they nourish the fertilized egg. So assuming that there's a zygote, basically fetal development will occur in the uterus. In the regions of the uterus, you have the body. The body is the main part of the portion of the uterus. The fundus of the uterus is kind of this top area right here. Okay, it's the superior area. It's rounded, and it's where the uterine tubes enter. And then the cervix is way down here. So the cervix is going to be this narrow outlet that protrudes into the vagina, and then the vagina is right there. And then the exterior of the body is right here. So there's a couple layers up to the walls of the uterus. So the endometrial layer is the innermost layer. So I think where we're going is right in here. So the endometrial layer, endo meaning inside, it allows for implantation of the fertilized egg. If there's no fertilized egg, basically what happens is it'll slough off because no pregnancy occurs, and that will be the onset of the menses. So the menstrual cycle is actually the shedding of the endometrial layer. The myometrium is the middle layer that's made up of smooth muscle. And then the perimetrium, or the visceral peritoneum, is the outermost serous layer of the uterus. And then next up here, that last part of the duct system, the vagina extends from the cervix, which the cervix is right here, and then it goes to the exterior of the body. It's located between the bladder and the rectum. It also serves as the birth canal, and it's the structure that's going to receive the penis during sexual intercourse. All right, well, that kind of wraps up the videos of the female reproductive system as far as the duct system goes, and I hope you found that helpful.